Welcome to Chroniclove, a supportive space for people with chronic illness. I'm Robin, a psychologist in New York City navigating the fallout of a breast cancer diagnosis some years in. And I'm on a personal journey to join together with others who have similarly found themselves facing life challenges in the wake of chronic illness. Together, with the generous humans you're about to meet, we welcome you into our discussions.
In telling people when you're first diagnosed, that was one of the most draining parts.
Yeah.
I say that everything's the most draining with cancer. I don't know if you guys did this. I would tell one person in the friend group and ask them to tell the rest of the friend group. And I asked my parents to tell the rest of my family, for example, because it got really exhausting to have those conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I think that identifying a key person within a larger group and allowing them to kind of take the lead and help you disseminate information, that really resonates too. And then thinking about how to handle communication ongoing, because I definitely feel which is, again, it's really wonderful when you feel like your community wants to hear the update or what's the latest news from a scan or how are you feeling after a chemo. But bearing in mind, especially, if you've been a social person, you're older and you have a lot of relationships, you could end up spending, after you've been doing chemo, the whole next day on the phone, texting, repeating the same story over and over again. And that can be really challenging. I think it was really wonderful when I would receive texts of how are you feeling, whatnot, and there would be included a permission given of no need to write back. I just want to check in on you, kind of thing like that. Because of course you don't need to write back, but if you're somebody who's also, really keyed into wanting to be polite or wanting to always manage relationships, which is somebody I am this way, it was really great to have that little sentence on there because I didn't feel guilty then delaying a week until I called that person back, or maybe never calling them back.
Something that my cousin did that I really appreciated was she sent me an email and said, I'm going to email you every Sunday. Respond if you want to, never feel like you have to, go as long as you need to without responding. And every Sunday, whether it was a couple sentences or a few paragraphs, I received something from her that was a piece of her life and a knowledge that she was thinking of me and checking in on me. And I really, really appreciated that kind of consistency and care. It's a really great.
With no conditional aspects to it. Yeah.
That's
so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I had a friend, she's really an amazing woman who did something similar, which is she would send me every week, I would get a handwritten letter, a newspaper clipping or an article she liked, or circled little notes on the magazine clipping kind of thing. And yeah, it definitely also felt unconditional. And it was a really special way to make me feel considered and thought of, but also giving me something to look forward to and to open or read.
Another example of that exact thing that worked so well for me was I have a good friend who's a neighbor who on chemo mornings on her way to work, which was right before I would leave, she would leave a little tiny thing at my door, even if it was very, very simple things, a card, a chapstick, a sticker, the smallest little thing to like pick me up that morning as I was on my way to chemo, just a nail polish. And that was really, really touching and like very helpful.
There's something about these gestures to just kind of like show that people are thinking about, that they're thinking about us, that they're holding us in mind, and that there is no conditional component to it, that we can just be, and we can be struggling in the moments that we're struggling, that we could be, you know, okay, but not obligated in the moments that we're finally feeling okay. If you're watching this and you're resonating with any of this, I just want to say that you should know that you're not in this alone. You're never in this alone. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Until next time, sending love.
Until next time, sending love.
Until next time, sending love. If any of this has been helpful for you, we welcome you to go ahead and to click the like and subscribe buttons. If you'd like to join us for a candid discussion about your experience with chronic illness, or if you'd like to connect to simply say hello, we welcome you to reach out through any of the social media platforms or through our website, and all of our information is listed below.